This lesson is slope of a line. The goal is to calculate slope of a line, and the standard is geometric properties using equations, number 5. The essential understanding is that you can graph a line and write its equation when you know certain facts about the line, such as its slope and a point on a line. The formal definition of slope of a line is the ratio of the vertical change, rise, to the horizontal change, run, between any 2 points. One way to calculate slope is by using rise over run. This is especially useful when you're looking at a graph. Another way to calculate slope is to take the difference between the two y values and put it over the difference between the two x values. By looking at the diagram, you can see that rise is either going up or down, and run is going left or right. When you're calculating slope and you have a graph, it's especially handy to understand the 4 slopes of lines. The first one is a positive slope. It's when a line goes up and to the right. A negative slope is going down to the right. A zero slope is a horizontal line, and an undefined slope is a vertical line. So, to find the slope of a line, you find the difference of the y values and put them over the difference in the x values. And this is also called rise over run. So the steps to finding slope of a line when it's on a graph is to decide if the slope is positive or negative. Then find the difference in the y values. Place that number over the difference in the x values. Reduce or simplify the fraction if necessary, and that gives you the slope. All right, the first one we're going to look at is the slope of line A. The first thing I'm going to look at is notice that it goes up and to the right. That means it has a positive slope. Then I'm going to look at the y values. Now my points on line A are 5, 7, and 2, 3. Remember, this is x, this is y. So the difference in the y values between 7 and 3 is 4. And the difference in the x values, the difference between 2 and 5, is 3. So the slope of line A is 4/3. You don't have to change that to 1 1/3, just leave it as an improper fraction. Next, we're finding the slope of line B. I notice that it goes down to the right, so this means that the slope of line B is going to be negative. I'm going to look at the points on line B. We have -1, 2, and 4, -2. I'm going to look at the difference in the y values, which is 2 and -2, and by going from 2 to -2, I'm going 4 spaces. On the x values, I'm going from 4 to -1. That means I'm going 5 places. However, remember that the slope was negative. So the slope of line B is -4/5. Now we're asked to find the slope of line C. Well, I know that it's a horizontal line. That means we have a 0 slope. But if you forget that, we can also find the difference in the x and the y values. Here are the coordinates of the 2 points on line C. The difference in the y values is 7 and 7. There's no difference. 1 and 5, the difference is 4. And 0 divided by 4 is 0. The slope of line C is 0. The last line on the graph is line D. Line D is a vertical line. Hopefully you would know that that is undefined. But if you don't, we can find the slope by using the 2 points on the line. Our first point is 4, 0, and the second point is 4, -2. The difference in the y values is from 0 to negative 2, which is 2. And the difference in the x values is, well, there is no difference. They're both 4. And since you cannot divide by 0, the slope is undefined. The final way of calculating slope is by finding it when you don't have a line on a graph. So you could graph these 2 points to see if the slope is positive or negative, or you can simply make sure that you mark the x values and y values, but this time call them sub 1 and sub 2. All right, so we're going to take the difference in the y values using y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over top of x sub 1 minus x sub 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. Therefore, the slope of the line that passes through those 2 points is negative 5/2. Let's look at how to find slope when you have the graph and you want to do rise over run. The first thing to do is find 2 points where the line crosses at an exact point. So we're going to mark these 2 points. So we're going to do rise over run. So I'm going to make a right triangle and I'm going to count the spaces going up. There's 1, 2, 3. So the rise is 3. The run is 1. That makes my slope 3. So make sure that you mark your points where they cross. Draw your right triangle and count the rise of that right triangle and put it over the run of that right triangle. That will give you the slope of a line on a graph. Here's your first practice problem. Find the slope of the line that passes through points 2, 8 and 6, 1. Go back and look at how I did it if you aren't quite sure. Practice problem 2. Look at this graph. What is the slope of the line? Be sure that you find a point at which the line crosses at the intersection of the x and the y axis. And then draw your right angle, count the rise of the right angle, put it over top of the run of the right angle, and that gives you slope. So, where are you after watching this? I don't get it. I sort of get it. I got this. Or I'm so good I can teach this. Hopefully, since this is a review from Algebra 1, you got this. If you still don't get it, go watch the video again. And if you sort of got it or you got this, go do the assignment. And like Garfield says, bye-bye for now.